Last summer, The Guardian came out with a study that showed of more than 1.1 million A-level entries, only 28.2% of them got an A or A star. And from that 28%, only 9% of them got an A star. So the question is, why are A-levels so hard that only 1 out of every 10 student gets an A star? And believe it or not, the answer is quite simple too, because back in GCSEs, you were used to cramming. You didn't really have to study using effective study methods, so you could just study like a day or two before the exam and get away with it. Come do that in A-levels and I promise you it's not going to end well. A-levels is more about understanding a concept and actually being able to apply it in your exam paper as opposed to just memorizing it and hoping that it comes in the exam. The question in A-levels are extremely detailed and all of them link to each other. So if you don't know one topic or if you don't understand one concept, there's a high chance that you're not going to be able to do other questions too because they're all linked to each other. That being said though, they're not exactly impossible. So I'll show you exactly how you can become a part of that 10% that actually got an A star. Understanding what you're learning is probably the most important thing that you can do when it comes to A-levels, because if you're just sitting there and trying to study and you don't understand what's going on and you're just memorizing it, I promise you, you're going to get like a C or a B. And the reason is just simply because A-level requires you to actually understand what you're studying instead of just, sitting there and expecting it to, like, the material to be easy. The material is pretty hard, and if you don't understand the concept, then it's long days for you. So how do you exactly understand the content? As I just said, understanding what you're learning is 10 times more important than just plainly memorizing it. I'll give you my 4-step framework that actually helped me a ton when it comes to actually understanding the topic, and it's going to be simple and it's basically going to work for every single subject. You're going to need 4 things. So what I used to do is number 1, textbook. Textbook is goated. Like, if you're not using your textbook, you're probably not doing the correct decision. Textbooks are extremely detailed and just amazing in general. Number 2 is going to be stuff like external notes. So for example, I used to use ChemRevise for my chemistry notes, and instead of like writing them all by myself, ChemRevise has like stuff already written notes. So what I used to do is I just used to download them and annotate any additional detail that was going to be on the paper. Number 3 is going to be AI. AI is going to be your friend. And that's just how it is. Like, AI is going to be the most important thing that you use on your A-level journey. And the reason is, if you don't understand a concept from the textbook, instead of going and asking it to someone else, like for example your teacher, which I do recommend you do, but again, you can't just continuously ask your teacher for everything. Let's say I don't understand a topic. The teacher has her limit, right? I can't just say, explain this again, explain this again, explain this again. She'll probably like take off her shoe and slap me with it. So you can just do that with AI, because AI will go into much more detail without getting annoyed, and it's going to explain it to you as many times as you want without any issue. So use AI to your advantage. Use it to understand every single topic that's available to you, and just ask it for applications. I'll show you exactly how I used to use AI back in the day. And finally, step number 4 is to use topic or past paper questions. God, this is the most important thing, because once you think that you've quote unquote understood the topic, what you're going to do is you're going to test yourself using topic or past paper questions on the same topic. I used to use ExamMate and I loved it. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below for that. But basically, I used to use ExamMate and I used to grind out as many topical past paper questions as I possibly could to make sure that I've fully understood the theory and I can actually apply it whenever I'm like doing the questions. Just spam as much as you want, and like if you find yourself consistently getting the questions right, well and good. That means you've understood the topic and you can move on to the next one. But if you're not getting them right, what I would recommend is that you go and like go to your teacher, go to a friend who actually understands the topic, and ask him what mistakes you're making in the question. And also ask AI. Again, as I said, AI is amazing. It's going to help you a lot. And when you're using AI, always make sure to ask it to explain it in extreme detail with examples so that you can actually relate it and correlate it to stuff in real life, and basically making the studying process 10 times easier for you. Tip number 2, use past papers effectively. Yeah, believe it or not, I never knew there was an effective way to do past papers, which was like mind blowing when I first found out that there's actually like a way better way that I could have been doing past papers. Let me explain to you. When it comes like way before the exam, I want you to, let's take it as it's like a 1-hour exam, right? I want you to give yourself 90 minutes instead of 1 hour to complete that exam and try to get as many marks as you want. Then when it comes to closer to the exam, I want you to give yourself 1 hour, like full of the time limit to complete that exam. And then when it's like 2 to 3 weeks before the exam, I want you to give yourself 45 minutes 45 minutes only to complete that exam. The reason I'm doing this is because rechecking and double checking is going to be extremely important in A levels. So, and the thing is, you barely get time in A levels to complete a paper. I remember like I barely got 5 minutes to like recheck my A levels. So your time management is going to be extremely important. That's one way I would manage like the quote unquote like time management when it comes to papers. Second thing is the way I would do papers. First is, let's take maths, right? And I would watch a video on it of someone else doing it, and then I would do it alongside him. Then once I've done that, what I would do is I would once I've done like a couple of past papers of that, I would go ahead and do it this way, that I would have the video open in front of me, but I would attempt to solve the question first, and then I would play the video. So I would keep checking like that. And third would be like the actual way to do past papers, which is like sit down, no distractions, and do it by yourself. Now, when it comes to the marking, extremely important, because you want to take three colors: green, red, and orange. Okay, no, just two colors, green and red. Mark all of the things that you did correct with green and write what exactly you did well and what like you could have improved. And with red, or the questions that you're getting wrong, I want you to go ahead and basically write why you're getting them wrong, what topics they're from, because that's extremely important. Pattern recognition. That if you see that you're continuously getting organic chemistry questions wrong, that means you're weak in organic chemistry and that you have to do way more practice of it. So I want you to be self-aware of what topics you're bad at, what topics you're good at, and basically take it from there. Now, once you find yourself getting questions wrong in your past paper or the practice exam that you're doing, what I want you to do is basically circle them with red, as I just said. Second, what I want you to do is open the marking scheme. Open the marking scheme and see what the examiner has written, and try to connect. Just look at it once and then try to solve it again. If you still can't get it, then open a YouTube video and watch a person do the question that you got wrong. Now, once you've like understood how the person's done it, what I want you to do is get a similar question and try to attempt it yourself. So let's say I got a question wrong. I looked up on YouTube and understood how the person was solving it. I would get a similar question again, and this time I would try to do it by myself. If you're not able to do it, again, repeat the same process until you're actually able to do the question by yourself. I also want you to create a Google Sheets like I did back in A levels, which I tracked every single past paper that I did, including the marks that I was getting in it. I would highly recommend that you do the same, because it helps you like basically see your progress on if you're whether you're even improving or not. And if you're not seeing like your marks going up, then there's something horribly going wrong which you need to fix immediately. Tip number 3, and the final tip, is that ask questions. Question literally everything. A levels, as I mentioned, is like sometimes what they like to do is, which I find very annoying, is that they will ask you questions that are out of the syllabus. And when they do that, you have no choice but to answer them. I remember like in my paper when I was doing a chemistry year 12 chemistry paper, they asked me a 2-mark question. Only 2 marks, that's fine. But that 2-mark question, the answer to it was nowhere. It wasn't in the textbook. It wasn't anywhere else. It was nowhere to be seen. So they just pulled that question out of their ass and just gave it to me. Now, what I realized is the only way I would be able to answer that questions is if I question everything. When I say question everything, I don't mean like conspiracy theories. I don't mean that. I mean that when you're learning a topic and you have a question that pops in your mind, oh, why does this happen? Why does this happen? Always make sure that you get your question answered. Go to ChatGPT. It takes 2 seconds, bro. Just go to ChatGPT and ask it everything. Like if you're learning about a specific topic and you have a question that pops in your mind, or you should be the one generating questions in your mind, and you should go to ChatGPT and ask it to explain it, even if it's like in a simple sentence. What that will do is that will elevate your understanding of that topic, because you're going to be going out of syllabus just to understand it. And that's going to benefit you a ton, way more than I can ever tell you. So question everything. Literally, the best advice I could give you is that always delve deeper into the topic. Like, try your best to understand it. Watch YouTube videos on it. Watch tutorials on it. Ask AI, ask ChatGPT about it. Just don't make sure you don't leave a topic if you don't understand it. It's as simple as that. Like, just keep questioning everything. Keep on, like, have that fire inside of you that you want to know everything about that topic. Like, take genuine interest in it. And once you start doing that, you'll find yourself like gathering way more information, and just the whole process of A levels will become 10 times easier for you, because you just know way more than others. Again, practice makes perfect. Make sure that you're consistently practicing. Consistency is key when it comes to A levels. And yeah, that's about it. I'll give you a bonus point as well. And the bonus point is that consistency is more important than pretty much everything. Because what I used to do, and which one of my mistakes that I made back in A levels, was that I used to study like crazy for a month and then I would leave it for 2 weeks. And then I would come back and study crazy for like 3 weeks and leave it for another week. That hurt me a lot. Trust me, you don't need to study 5 to 6 hours every day for A levels. You just don't. You need to study two hours max per day, just 2 hours. But make sure that when you're studying in those 2 hours, nothing else is distracting you. Your focus is purely on studying. Of course, when it comes to exam season, you can up it to like 6, 7 hours. 6, 7? No, okay. But yeah, consistency is key. Always make sure that you're like on point with your studies. Never slack a day, even if you're like 2 hours a day every single day is way better than studying like 8 hours a day and then nothing the next day and then 8 hours again. Like consistency is what's gonna get you to that A star or A that you want, and only consistency. If you slack off, make sure to just try your best to come back and just 2 hours a day, man. Come on. You like if you go and look at your screen time, it's gonna be like 10 hours. Like all you need to do is just 2 hours, bro. It's not. I swear it's not that deep. Anyways, consistency is very key. Make sure you're practicing questions every single day. Questions are very important. And yeah, that's about it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out 2 of these videos. And I don't know. Let's see which video I want to put here. And you know what? I'll just put random videos. Go ahead and check them out. Subscribe to the channel right over here. I'll see you with another video very soon. Take care and goodbye.